damn it, Victoria, I'm the president.
Bullshit.
Here for a recap. Are you? Well, I'm First Lady Victoria Franklin, and there's no one better to fill you in on the saga of Season 2. Please do your best to keep up. I can't tolerate any more incompetence. Take my mother, for instance. All that old bag had to do was collect my daughter Gail and my son Jason and take the little brats away for some straightening out. Instead, she went and got her ass killed by Jason. Then there's that dog, Diane, who let my husband's new side bitch take her job as press secretary and tried to expose us on her way out.
Because apparently the president likes to reward young, dumb, pretty girls.
She went straight to Bobby and hatched a new plan to bring us down, along with dear delusional Lily, who seems to think she heard that Hunter committed murder.
Hey.
You know what else can drive a woman crazy? Seeing her man leave my private bathroom with a hard-on she hasn't seen in months.
What the?
The look in our head chef Priscilla's eyes was so delicious I could eat it for lunch. Right after I finished devouring her husband, Sam. I've got big plans for him, and I know they'll be hard to resist.
Perhaps I should get dressed.
Speaking of being hard-headed, the butler's son, Barry, is still going nowhere fast.
All right, hands behind your back.
He gets arrested for kidnapping the mother of his missing daughter, who's in a cult called the Rakadushis, and he still has no idea where his child is. His girlfriend Sharon bails him out with a pile of money that had mysteriously appeared under Barry's dresser.
Sharon, that's not my money.
Meanwhile, Richard is having some baby mama drama of his own, since his wife Nancy refuses to tell him the real father of her dead son, Picky. Like the low-class liar she is, Nancy grovels for Richard to take her back. But you know how men are. He wastes no time moving on with one of our maids. The men in that family sure do have good taste. To make matters worse, Max, the nosy Secret Service agent my husband thought was handled, was taken out of the hospital by Bobby and that meddlesome Diane. As long as Max is still breathing, no one is safe. And Hunter's new thought/press secretary, Ellie, still didn't have a plan to fix it.
You don't have a clue, do you?
I sat that thirsty bitch down and made her an offer she couldn't refuse. Leave.
Please.
Or I'd have her body cut into little pieces.
Remember what I said.
After all this, I find the musty, dead body of the missing young maid Jean under my son's bed. And then I find a sword in Jason's chest.
Hunter.
I knew this little bastard was a creep, but is he a psychopath too? Now, we know I can't stand my husband's chief of staff, but Donald's double life is nothing if not entertaining. He lets his man-whore Kyle move into his home, assuming his wife Lily is gone for good. Now, he should know better than to make assumptions, but I guess Kyle is just that good at what he does. Little does he know, Lily's half-baked scheme with Bobby, Max, and Diane is to go back home and play nice with him to try to get dirt on all of us from the inside.
I'm fine.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, yeah. Hunter and I finally find something to agree on. Getting Jason to explain why the dead maid was under his bed.
Oh my God.
Not only does Jason confess to killing 3 people, he finds the nerve to put his hands on me.
Mom, shut!
Can you believe her little serial killer spawn blames Hunter and me for making him a homicidal maniac? If I get my way, he's going to prison. But Hunter disagrees. Yet again, he fails to protect the women in his life. But one thing's for sure. This house isn't big enough for this demon seed and me too.
You all right?
Before we can clean up the mess the little monster made, snooping Priscilla goes through his room for signs of Jean and gets caught.
What are you doing in my room?
Now, I'm not scared of anything, but I'd stay off Jason's hit list if I were her. Later, Nancy learns that Sharon is pregnant and tells Barry, who races to Sharon's job and asks her if the baby is his.
Who else
will be the father.
I don't know, Sharon. Don't.
Funny enough, Sharon's boss, Kareem, still wants her badly. But he hires some help at the pharmacy to give her space. And this bumpkin might have intel on the cult that took Barry's daughter.
Can you, tell me what you know about the Rakadushis?
Lily might be back, but it doesn't stop Donald from stealing quality time with who he really loves. And when Alan walks in on the lovebirds, it makes things rather precarious.
I'm sorry, sir.
When lovesick Kyle catches Lily in Donald's office, he asks what she's looking for, but Lily's not going down easily. Maybe that girl's smarter than she looks. Anyways, Donald and my ridiculous husband find a so-called therapist to work with our son.
This is, Dr. Meadows.
But the weirdo tries his best to run her away. The only thing that could possibly make me feel better is a night run with Sam, who I made my new head of security so that he always, comes when I call.
Call me Victoria.
I tell him exactly how bad I want to make love to him, and he insists he's faithful to Priscilla. But trust me, it's only a matter of time before I get what I want.
Good night, Sam.
Why else would he be ignoring her calls?
Good night, ma'am.
Come to find out, Kyle needs a palate cleanser as well. He picks up our friend Dale from the pharmacy for a hot hookup that gets interrupted when Max returns and unleashes an ass-whooping Kyle can't handle.
Guess who, bitch?
That is, until Captain Save-A-Ho, a.k.a. Bobby, stops Max from going lethal.
Come on. We gotta go.
And Sharon gets so sick of Barry pressing her when she says she doesn't want to keep the baby that she leaves him and runs straight into Kareem's open arms. And by arms, I mean bed, of course.
Damn.
What?
You still with me? Good. Next, Jean's body winds up in the bed of her boyfriend, Greg, and when Priscilla arrives, she finds him resting in peace too. If only Sam would pick up the phone and console her. But he's a bit tied up with
Trying to
me.
get your attention.
It's okay, ma'am.
Richard tells his date he wants a divorce from Nancy, who crashes their intimate evening. Damn, can a man cheat in peace? The answer is no, as we see when Jason happily leads Alan right into the office where my husband is banging Ellie. Once again, I swoop in to save Hunter from himself and stop Ellie from taking his underwear as a souvenir. That man should truly kiss my feet. But then he'd have to take his head out of his ass.
Not thanking you for shit.
All the loose ends start getting tied up quite nicely as Kyle makes sure Miss Laura will never tell and disposes of Diane as well. But not before getting her to snitch on her co-conspirators, including Bobby, who Lily is riding like her life depends on it, just as Donald gets a tip to come home early. Oh, how I love when the smug look gets wiped off his face.
Move and I'll blow your brains out.
And do you know what else I love? A man who takes charge, like Sam finally does, over and over. It was every bit as good as I knew it'd be. Except my sicko son was lurking and saw the whole thing, and he couldn't wait to share the audio with Priscilla. I told her to stay out of his way. Turns out the money used to get Barry out of jail earlier belongs to Rakadushi Ruth, and she says she'll return their daughter in exchange for the cash. That Barry, full of anger and light on his brains, walks right into a trap. The Rakadushis kidnap him, and now Nancy has one less son, as she finally breaks down and admits to Richard that his own father is Picky's dad. Whew. Like I told you before, pledge allegiance to no one. I'll see you soon for the rest of season 2.